Josh, I'll start with you. What does it mean to you to have got to this stage of the club?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Obviously, as a young manager, it's my first time in the first round proper, and probably my first time playing against Portsmouth, to be honest. I think I played them once as a player, so yeah, really pleasing. I think it's a testament to the players as well. You know, the hard work they've put in, especially against Bromley away was a bit of a tasty time just to keep going and obviously get the result. You know, at the end was really pleasing. So yeah, I'm really pleased, especially for these boys.
You've had different sorts of ties so far. You mentioned Bromley, which obviously you were very much second favourites going into that one to a degree, on paper at least. 3 Bridges away, you were probably favourites, but that was a tricky little tie in itself.
Yeah, Bromley as well. Portsmouth will probably look at us like we've looked at some of the others, a bit of a banana skin. So they're tough test. Bromley was obviously an easy one to get out for, but obviously the Broms Grove and the 3 Bridges were tough ones. 3 Bridges were going well at home as well, so it was a difficult one for us. We made a couple of changes going into the game as well, so that was definitely a banana skin. But again, testament to these lads, their attitudes, their application into those games, made sure we got through and at this point. Yeah.
So then, Portsmouth, how do you see the size of that challenge?
Not too big. Yeah, it's a difficult one. Look, the Cardi brothers, I've spoken about them in other interviews. They do their homework, they're meticulous with their preparation for things. They've played at a low level, so they know what's expected, what they're going to come up against on Friday night. But at the end of the day, they're not doing too bad in League One, are they? So, it's a big jump for us, to play a team like that. So we've got to be at 100%, we've got to be at our maximum, and if we're not, then obviously we'll get found wanting. So, we're going to plan, we are planning already, we train today. We'll train again Thursday in preparation for Friday.
It must be a massive bonus to not have the varsity game tonight.
Yeah, we've been Saturday, Tuesday. We've been Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Friday. Saturday, Tuesday, Friday, wouldn't it? So, yeah, that would have been a bit too much for us, especially with a smaller squad. Obviously, a team like Portsmouth, I know they're playing tonight. They've got a bigger squad, so they've got a bigger pool of players to pull from for the game. So, yeah, we're thankful for the league that they've pulled the game off because, for us at the end of the day and for the league, we're representing the league, so we need to be as fresh as possible going into the game on Friday.
What would it mean to you to win on Friday, Matt?
I think the club's already won in the sense of, it's just put the club back in the spotlight. That hasn't been for a while. Financially, it's been great for the club, but if we win, we just look at the next one and we go for the next tie. So, that's how I see it. It's another game for us. We're not going to get too high, we're not going to get too low about it. We just need to keep on an even keel and, look to get a result on Friday.
So, I'm going to turn to you. Going into this, I'm going to form really. After the Bradford game, which I think we all accept was pretty poor, but since then it's been going well.
Yeah, we bounced back straight away. We were looking to do that, obviously against Fylde. We weren't very happy with our performance away at Bradford, so to get the win at Fylde and then to follow that up again on Saturday with another win, put us in good stead for the game Friday.
The Fylde game, I saw that game. I thought, well, that would be good practice for you to set up an awful lot of pressure for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. Take nothing away from Fylde, they're a good team, and also there was a lot of fans there, which I guess will be the same on Friday again. So it gives the players that haven't played under a lot of fans a bit of experience. I'm sure they enjoy it again on Friday. So yeah, hopefully a bit more experience for them as well.
And you get them on the goals.
Yeah, obviously I'm a striker. My job is to score goals. I also like to create goals and obviously help out defensively, but ultimately my job is to score goals. So when I do score, I'm very happy, and when we win, it's even better.
What's the spirit like within the squad looking ahead to Friday night?
Yeah, the lads are buzzing. Some lads not played at a league team before, so they're going to relish the moment playing against a league team. I'm looking forward to it myself. I'm sure the gaffer is. I'm sure the fans are as well.
You come up against some decent centre halves in Panorama North, don't you? There could be a couple of useful ones on Friday night.
Yeah, well, I always back myself. I always have done. I've always been a bit of an underdog, and I'm sure we go into the game on Friday being the underdogs as well. So I always, and I do still back myself, and I back the team to go put a good performance together. And you never know in this FA Cup, you never know what will happen.
It is worth making the point. A lot of members of the squad have played at good level before, higher than Panorama North, so it shouldn't hold too many fears for most of you.
Yeah, we're all men at the end of the day. We all can be beaten, so hopefully we take that mentality into the game and we take it minute by minute, and we do our best, and that's all we can do.
And we had the dream, 1 minute to go, 0-0, and it was down towards the middle end. Miles scorer, somebody puts a cross in and score on the end of it.
I'm sure I've had plenty of scenarios run through my head. Be here all night talking about them, but as long as we perform well, I'll be happy. We can look each other in the eyes at the end of the game and say we did our best, regardless of the outcome. Then that'll be a good performance.
Final one for me, Josh, back to you, just in terms of the squad as we stand at the moment. I appreciate it's a few days away yet, but everybody kind of hail and hearty at the moment, and we expect to be.
Yeah, obviously Kane played full match, full 90 the other day, and he's been out for a good few months, so he was had a lot of session today. What do we say? Yeah, I'm sure a few boys will turn up on Thursday. haven't been fit for a few weeks, but no, the boys are in good spirits. Like you say, look, when you win games of football, the camp's great. It's a happy environment. When you lose, not so much. So, but the lads are buzzing at the moment. We focus on game by game. I don't know it's a cliche, but yeah, we focused on the Portsmouth game the weeks before. We weren't concentrating on this game at all. If we're going to be honest, we just concentrated on the league, and that's the reward you get. You get a big tie like this on a Friday night on TV. So the lads are raring to go.
Good luck. Thank you, man.
Cheers, thank you.
Josh, you mentioned obviously you're quite a young manager, 2 years in the job. Such a big time, such a big night on the TV as well. What does that mean for you coming to it so early on?
We had obviously some success in the FA Trophy when we got to Wembley, which was great for us. And for me as a young manager there, these are the nights I want regular, more. These are, our fans deserve these days. And as a manager of a football club, a young manager, I want to power the club into a position where we can have these days on a more regular basis. So for me, as a young manager, it's about learning, taking in the experience, looking at a football league club, a place where I want to get to as a manager, and soaking that in. And I'm sure after the game, well, I will after the game, sit down and watch the game, watch it back with the tape, and see how we can and how I can, further myself moving forward.
Do you think these ties against big teams like Portsmouth, with their history, FA Cup winners, do you think it helps you as a team develop?
Yeah, I think so. Pressure. I think that's the big thing. We learned a lot about ourselves in that FA Cup run, FA Trophy run, a couple of years ago when we got to the final, and what lads can handle pressure, what couldn't, and we always look at coping mechanisms. I think that's a big area in my background that I can help the lads with. Under pressure, how do we cope with under pressure? Do we reset and go back to our training, or do we do something else? So we've got to make sure that we drill these lads to make sure when the pressure's on, that's what they're focused on. Is the thing we've done in training.
And how much do you think that experience of being at Wembley for the FA Trophy will help going into Friday night and on the pitch?
Well, we've got a better squad, so that all helps. So, yeah, no, definitely. I'd like to think, obviously as a young manager, this is my fourth season. It's been a roller coaster as a young manager, especially through COVID. I've learned so much over such a short period of time because of the things that COVID have thrown at us all, and obviously getting to a final as well. It's given me so much more experience than I could have imagined at this point. So, yeah. For me, it's just keep progressing, keep developing, keep my eyes open, and keep learning.
And you're going to watch Portsmouth tonight. Sorry. Well, this won't go out until much closer to the FA Cup. But what will you be when you're watching a game like that? What are you looking at? What do you think? What will you be taking out of that game tonight and trying just to get one better over them on Friday?
My secrets. No, for me, we look at patterns of play, things they do well, things we can nullify, things they don't do so well, areas we can exploit. Obviously, the team that are going to play, I know a portion of the players that played the last game on Saturday are going to play tonight, so I'm going to look at them, their ability and the things they do. So there's a lot of things that go into it, and then obviously we'll devise a game plan, which to be honest, we've already watched them already. It's just nice to see them live, and we'll devise a game plan on their deficiencies and make sure we nullify their strengths.
Now, when you had the final at Wembley, you probably weren't as big of an underdog as you are against Portsmouth. Does that make it easier in these kind of games when you are an underdog?
Yeah, I think if you look at pressure, if you look at the Wembley final, we were the favourites, and did we deal with the pressure well enough? I'm not so sure. You look at the team we played against, Hornchurch, and they didn't have any pressure because they weren't expected to win. So for us going into the game, yes, there'll be more fans and probably some of the players who haven't played with. But I just think for us, it's less pressure than they're expected to win. They're on TV, they're a football league club, they're expected to come here and win comfortably, whereas we're not. There's nothing expected from us, so it's not a bad place to be.
And for Portsmouth coming to Hereford, I don't want you to give them tips on how to beat you, but in terms of what they can expect when they're coming to Hereford, what would you warn them about?
I'll just say to them, don't play very well. No, look, it's a great place. The fans get behind us, they'll cheer, they'll clap. You know, we play at a tempo and intensity. I'd like to think we're on a good run at the moment, and winning is a habit, and we're in a good habit at the moment. So, you know, they've got to be on their game. I think for me, if they're not on their game, they'll get fan wanting. So, you know, look, again, like I said about the Cowley brothers, I expect them to come in and do the right things. Look, I've been a player in an FA Cup tie when I've played against a team 2-3 leagues below, and although you prepare properly, you kind of go into the game expecting to win, and sometimes you can get caught off with that. So we'll see how they deal with that.
And as a player, pal, what does this going on Friday night? What does this kind of mean for you in terms of? Is it a test that you welcome?
Yeah, absolutely. I think every player wants to play in the FA Cup. It's such a great competition. Everyone's looking forward to it. The fact that we've got a league team just makes it an even more special occasion. So I personally will be looking forward to the game. I'm sure the rest of the squad, and I'm sure the gaffers as well.
Is it a chance to show your worth, on TV in front of a probably packed crowd as well? Yeah,
I mean, every game there's always someone watching, whether it's away or home. There's always someone there watching, and I like to think that the lads want to prove their worth every game. So hopefully they have the same mentality.
So it's kind of no change. You're approaching this the same way as you would at any other game.
Absolutely for me.
Yeah, no, we approach every game as if it was a league game. I think that's the big thing. So we keep our focus, keep consistency in our performances. If we didn't, then I think we would definitely get fan wanting. So the lads can go in as if it's a 3-point game, and we're going to try and win 3 points, and that's how we train, how we prepare for things. So Friday for us is another 3 points.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Talk to Josh to start with. Talked a lot about flexibility within the team, playing in different positions. We've been trying a number of formations out recently. Normally, obviously, 4-2-3-1 or 3-5-2. How important is it to be able to change and do that during the game, which has happened quite successfully recently?
Yeah, I mean, we layer things in pre-season, training wise. Obviously, we built our formation that we play now, but we also tinker with a plan B. I think it's important to have a plan B so when you come up against the sides of Portsmouth and teams like that, when things aren't going well, you can change it. So, the way we build up is flexible. So, I mean, you've seen over the last couple of weeks, the lads can transition effortlessly, and that's obviously down to their understanding of the game, and obviously my coaching staff making sure that we do enough on the work that we get that ingrained in them. And so yeah, going into Friday, we'll have a look at what formation we'll play.
The big cup ties can turn one way or another on fractions, decision making. You've been working seemingly a lot more on set pieces and corners in recent months.
Yeah.
How much of an importance could that be on Friday?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the stats at this level, the ball's out of play a hell of a lot, and games can be won not just our level, but even the top level games can be won by set plays, and the physicality we've got in the team now. I don't think we had that to start, so injuries and stuff like that with Orange, obviously the big man here, Aaron and Luke, and players like that. We've got real threats from set plays, and obviously how we're taking them. So for us, you've got to play to your strengths, and set plays, corners, free kicks, and those things over the last couple of months have definitely been our strengths, so they're going to play a really big part in the game on Friday.
And a quick one for Ty, how much do you feel that you're fitting in now? Because it seems to be a bit of a transition, and players are getting a little bit more understanding of your game and what your assets are. And do you feel that can come to the fore?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like, obviously, coming here pre-season, there was quite a new squad, so I think all around the team, not just myself, we've had to learn each other's good things, bad things, and learn each other's game, really. So then I think now, I'm not sure how many weeks in, but we're starting to nail down on little things that other players want, other players need. So it seems to be coming out on the football pitch.
The message for the fans on Friday, what can they do to help you?
They can just obviously get behind the lads. Obviously, most of them enjoy the moment. We'll be going to be trying our hardest, and I hope they can appreciate that and obviously get behind us and enjoy the game.